All right, a little bit about what I'll be using as my sight for hunting season. Right now I have a Redline dial sight on there, but I'm going to be replacing that with the Garmin Zero. This isn't the top of the line one. This is their, I think it was $7.99 when I got the, I can't remember what exactly the upgrade version of this was, but this one is, I mean, it does all the same functions. It just doesn't track your shots and show you where your arrow should be and all that. It doesn't connect to your Garmin app or what have you. But all of that just seemed like a little bit extra, honestly, when you look at just what the thing can do in general. It's a red dot sight, so you don't have any pins fixed in there. You know, it's just a clear lens. And then right above the lens, very easily visible while looking down the sight, is the ranging information up there. And then it has a little wire attached to a button. You just put that down there by your forward gripped hand. Press down the button. I'll go ahead and range something off to the side here. And it'll range it. And once it's ranged, it's going to light up the reticle, and you'll have it pre-sighted in at specific ranges that you like, and it will just kind of adjust so you don't have to guess the distance between you know, your 30 and your 40 pin or what have you. When you hold the button down, what it comes up with, you can't really tell, but those are all green little arrows, and they all point to a center point. And that center point, there's a small circle, is the direction in which the rangefinder itself is facing. So you'll point this in the direction, draw back, hold down the trigger, you'll line up that small circle, the small green circle that'll appear in the middle of all those arrows. And then once you have that, your red dot should sit right in the middle of that circle if you have perfect alignment, which you set it all up beforehand, and it generally works just fine. Indicating that your arrow is pointing exactly where your rangefinder is ranging, so that you know you're ranging the deer, you're pointing at the deer. Good to go. You'll release the trigger, the pin will appear. Again, let's see. Well, we have to range something a little further off than the table right below. The pin will appear right where you need it, right where you should place the arrow. Just put the pin on the target, let go of your shot, does the job. The thing I like about this is, with having that viewing screen there, quite large viewing screen, that window essentially right there where the red dot sits, I had quite a bit of visibility through there. There wasn't any blur from having any pin shafts or anything going into my sight, and it didn't quite tire my eye out as much as staring down the regular 3-pin or 1-pin sight tends to do. And then, being that it's a red dot and you can adjust the lighting on the reticle very easily, it made it quite easy for me to shoot a little bit later than most folks would be able to. I figured I had about 15 minutes past normal shooting light to be able to acquire and take a deer. But it turned out to be a pretty solid tool last season. The only drawback that I found was that it tends to kind of wander shot after shot. So if you put somewhere in the range of maybe 10 shots down, it's going to start to kind of wander. So it's really one of those things where you have to kind of set it before you go out. And then if you don't let any arrows down, it should stay in its place. But kind of annoying. It's a limitation, and it's not ideal. But for what it is and for what it's worth, I think it did the job for me last season, and I think it'll continue to perform quite well. I just wouldn't suggest it for competition shooting, tack shooting, 3D shooting, really. I would just go to a slider sight, 3-pin, 1-pin slider sight, whatever you want. But this really isn't for that. But for hunting, this thing has paid dividends for me.